As a bit of a disclaimer before I start my video, I just want to say that this video does not serve to offend anyone or insult any religion. It's just a recounting of my personal experiences and me sharing my beliefs. For my Buddhism project, I decided that I wanted to kind of describe my experiences with the religions Catholicism and Buddhism. And I really wanted to describe the different roles they both have played in my life. I was raised Catholic, so I was baptized in the Catholic Church. I went to church every Sunday. I prayed before every meal. I went through around 12 years of Catholic religious education. And probably from the time that I was about 10, I was unsure about my faith in Catholicism. I was always kind of unsure whether I actually believed in a God and Jesus and pretty much everything that I had been raised to believe. And the way that I was taught, I felt that if I expressed my unsureness about the religion, I would be told that I wasn't faithful enough to the church, or I was damaging my relationship with God. And this feeling had always kind of played a pretty big role in my Catholic journey. So I volunteered as a high school leader in a middle school retreat. The leaders had to write a speech to present to the middle schoolers, and I knew right away that I wanted to talk about my struggle with faith. And the speech that I wrote was really talking about it's okay to be unsure, because we all have our doubts and we all have our concerns and we all have our questions. My adult leader, after I had presented it to her, told me that basically it was a great speech, but instead of saying it's okay to be unsure because we all have our doubts, I should instead say it's okay to be unsure because God is always willing to mend his relationship with you. And I think this really just proved my doubts about the religion. And I think that really was what kind of turned me away from Catholicism. So once I started participating in this Buddhism course, my eyes were really opened to the value of my personal journey and the value of focusing on yourself instead of your relationship with a higher being. In this class, I was really taught to not worry about what others have to say and to focus on my own journey and to be the leader of my own path. I never felt fulfilled in the Catholic Church, and once I was exposed to the value of my own journey, I was kind of blown away with how differently my life had been run and how I had never been exposed to this. I think also what I really, really like about Buddhism is the fact that pain is inevitable, but it only becomes suffering when we expect it not to happen. And it's never going to be suffering unless I make it suffering. I think that Buddhism in my life really symbolizes my path and my future, and really it serves as a reminder to live my own path to the fullest and not expect to be guided by a higher figure all the time. Buddhism in my life also serves as a reminder that I'm going to encounter difficulties and I'm going to have struggles, but they're never going to be too big to overcome. I think Catholicism still does play a role in my life, but in a way that reminds me of the hard times that I've been through and how I've gotten to the place that I am today. And I think it also is it represents the values that I've been raised on and really how I got to the place that I am today. Buddhism also serves as a reminder to me that nothing is fixed or permanent and change is always possible. So even when I'm at the roughest points in my life, there's always room for change. I can always get back up from it. There's always another day, I guess. I believe that religion shouldn't be something that you have to force yourself to follow or feel terrible if you're not 100% there, or if you're unsure about your belief. With Buddhism, it doesn't matter how much you believe in it. It doesn't affect anybody but you. The Buddhism in my life has really shifted my perspective from worshiping a deity that I can never be to focusing on the possibilities of what I can achieve and who I can be.